Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall. You're here with one of the thief, otherwise known as Drax Craven, when he's trying to talk to Eager. So, I'd like to hear about your time in the KSK. Nope, not in the habit of sharing war stories, Double-Decker. I'm with people who've never served. It doesn't have to be a war story, I just want to know who I'm running with. Alright, Double, you win. I owe everything to my time in the KSK, from my street name on down. So you tell me what you want to know and we'll see where this goes. So how'd you get your street name? Back when I was in basic, a fellow recruit made a vulgar joke at my expense. He said that I reminded him of the north face of the Eager in the Bernese Alps, huge and beautiful but dangerous to climb. His tone left little doubt as to what sort of climbing he had in mind. I think that he was trying to proposition me in his clumsy way, poking me in front of the other recruits to try to provoke a reaction. Anyway, he got one. I broke 3 of his ribs and the name stuck. Remind me not to proposition you. Either you're trying to be cute or you've completely missed the point. Neither would surprise me. I didn't break his ribs because he propositioned me, Double-Decker. I'm not a goddamn savage. I put that recruit down because he demeaned me, and he did it in front of our peers. Yes, I was trying to make a joke. God damn it. Eager, I was just joking. Funny, that's exactly what that recruit said when he was being dragged up to the medic's tent. It was just a joke. I didn't mean anything by it. I was never reprimanded by the top brass, though. They knew what they knew what I knew. Whatever that recruit's intents, he put me in a situation that required a response. Okay, I stand corrected. You might mean that, or you could just be trying to de-escalate the situation. You tell me, fearless leader. You want to hear why I did what I did? Or would you rather I just drop it? Because there are plenty of other things that I could be doing right now. Go ahead, tell me. Alright, I will. As soon as that idiot made his little joke, it was a foregone conclusion that I was getting saddled with the nickname Eager. My only choice in the matter is whether it happened under his terms or mine. If I hadn't broken that twit's ribs, the name Eager would have meant a difficult sexual conquest to a whole barracks full of recruits. That's what I would have been to them from that point on. My own accomplishments be damned. Thanks to what I did, my new name meant the troll who doesn't take shit from anyone instead. It's a name I'm proud to go by, and I've hung on to it ever since. A word of advice, Double. If anyone ever puts you in the position that he put me in, if he demeans you in front of your unit, whatever his intent, the appropriate response is to put that person down. Hard. Out in the field, nothing will kill you faster than losing the respect of your team. By that logic, I should have broken your ribs after Monica died. In your place, I would have. Not that you'd have succeeded if you tried, but in terms of saving face, it would have done wonders. In all seriousness, Double, I'm sorry that I put you in that position. I shouldn't have, and I acknowledge that. Need anything else, or can I go back to prepping for our next run? So, tell me about the team. Fair enough, I guess you've earned it. There were 8 of us, 2 commando squads working together as a single unit. Schmidt and Lange were combat deckers. Wolf was our rigger and combat engineer. Fisher handled demolitions, Braun was a medic, and the rest of us, Metzger, Kruger, and myself, are weapons experts. Our mission was extraterritorial. Technically illegal, but important enough to justify the risk. We'd been sent across the border into Poland. The Russian mafia had set up a cottage industry and human trafficking all along the Oder-Neisse line. It was our job to disrupt it. So extraterritorial means that they are working against a corp, a military operation against a corp. That can be dangerous because corporations have their own, governments and sovereignty. We were a good team, experienced. We went through a lot together. We chalked up a lot of kills. In our own way, I'd like to think that we did some good. So who was in command? Metzger, best leader I ever had the pleasure of serving under. He was a hell of a man. But he went down with the rest of the team, everyone but me. So what happened to them? No. That's one story I won't be telling. They died. That's all you need to know. Well, thanks, Eager. So is there something else? Or can I go back to cleaning my rifle? No more questions. Thanks. Sure thing, fearless leader. Good talk. Oh, Dietrich. So, why did you switch from fronting a brand to running the shadows? Honestly, hooking the stage was getting boring, boss. Spitting and screaming at the world was fine and good when I was a kid, but it just didn't do it for me anymore. The Dragon Slayer wanted me to fight a real enemy, so I left the band behind and turned to the shadows. I don't know. I guess I figured that'd be the best way to find one. Considering current events, I'd say that you're not wrong. Yeah, I guess not. Feels kind of daunting, truth be told, but it's exciting all the same. I've been looking for a worthy adversary for a while now. It's kind of satisfying having a white whale to chase. So how long have you been looking for a real enemy? Not too long, ever since I took down the last one. Last one? Of course, I might be able to sit around feeling pleased with myself if I followed the creator of the Moon Maiden, but the Dragon Slayer ain't that kind of idol. If I'm not drinking, I'm fighting, and if I'm not doing either of those things, I'm looking for a bigger, better fight to get in next time. It's a remarkably simple code to live by. So, what was the last one? Gang boss, great big orcish bastard called the Wildschwein, led the local chapter of the Horde. I had my sight sets on them for a while. They'd hurt a lot of people, and I figured they'd pose a challenge. I wasn't wrong about that. Took them out in the end. When does this stop? Well, boss, the way I figure it'll end when I pick a fight that I can't win. Might be this one, maybe the next. It'll be hard to top a great dragon. That's the way the Dragon Slayer wants it. Who am I to refuse him? That's enough talk for today, boss. Besides, you've got other things to do, I'm sure. Thanks, Dietrich. Actually, I need to talk to you about the Black Lodge. God damn it! Alright, Paul, what's up? Double, welcome back. I have news for you. In your absence, I've been looking into the Harfeld Manor. Whatever the Fairshrange is up to, it is both large-scale and well-funded. I've uncovered a money trail leading from holding companies all over the world to an offshore fund with a dummy address. From there, all that freshly laundered money flows directly into the Harfeld estate. Wait, why does the dragon have investors? All she's gonna do is destroy things. It's doubtful that the Firewings pawns even know where their money is going. This is typical of draconic plots. Uncover a stream of money flowing behind the scenes, and there's a fair chance you'll find a dragon at the receiving end of it. To a dragon, conspiracy is second nature. But that's the thing. She doesn't scheme, she doesn't plot, she just burns shit. Yes, and look where it got her. When the Firewing launched her attack on humanity, it was an act of hubris. She lashed out because she didn't consider our species to be a threat. It would be equally hubristic for us to assume that she will make the same mistake twice. Fair enough. Sounds good, Paul. Thanks. Ooh, readable surface of one of the Green Winters DVDs. Just one? Many of them are extensively damaged, and getting anything off of them is proving to be quite a chore. She has told me that she'll be in touch when she makes any headway. Thanks, Paul. Oh, DVD number 2. Alright, as I said in my last recording, I've been having trouble finding hard facts on the Fairschwinge, so I thought I'd open things up a bit. Let's see what the rumor mill has to say. Winters appears in a different location. He's now clutching a mug of soy calf in both hands, and there are bags under his eyes. Well, that was enlightening, assuming that any of it was true. So for the past 5 hours, I've been poking around some of the crazier fringe theories related to the dragons and the SOX. As a reminder, the SOX is an irradiated wasteland between France and Germany. It got zoned off back in '08 after the Catanam GAU reactor meltdown. Anyway, there are all kinds of rumors floating around about the place. I've heard stories about a walled city in there that operates on survival of the fittest, kill or be killed basis. Some sort of like a nightmare inversion of Berlin. All the anarchy but none of the stability that the F-state provides. The radiation poisoning, cancer, and mana pollution are just the icing on the cake. So when Adrian helped the Luftwaffe shoot Fairschwinge down, she crashed into the SOX. That much is well known. What isn't as well known are all of the modern day myths that have arisen about her since, and tonight I've heard an earful. I chatted up a girl who claimed to be a ghost rat. That's a smuggler that operates in the SOX. She told me about a dragon cult called the Disciples of the Cleaning Fire. Apparently these cultists worship some sort of radioactive ghost dragon. Could be the Fairschwinge, or could be nothing. It's worth digging into all the same. Another thing that my little ghost rat told me, the popular rumor in the SOX is that the Fairschwinge's astral form was, I guess you could say, mutated by all of the background radiation. Some of the glowpunks out there say that she shed her body like an old coat. Others say that she's trapped and doomed to languish as an intangible radioactive ghost. I don't know how much credence to give any of this. After all, I don't have any proof that my ghost rat is even a ghost rat. She might be, but then she could also be a run-of-the-mill glowpunk. Maybe she's just yanking my chain and she's never been to the SOX at all. Who knows? Well, it's food for thought anyway. I don't know whether the thought of some radioactive ghost dragon thing is any scarier than a genuine dragon is, but it's interesting all the same. Now the big question. Will any of this get me closer to finding Adrian? I'm going to go on a limb and say no, but you never can tell. Track 2. November 12th. Alright, back to outside the box. So after the Dragonfall, the great dragon Kaltenstein came flying into the SOX to rescue the Firewing, but he was driven off, some say killed, by Lofweir or Nebelhair. So what if there's another dragon involved in all this? Grabs a thick leather-bound tome from a shelf behind him, licks a finger, and begins to leaf through it. Alright, so let's run down the list of major dragons that could be helping her. There's the Golden Worm Lofweir, CEO of Satyr Krupp, and quite possibly the single most dangerous being on Earth. Lofweir's a local boy, so he'd be in position to help Fairschwinge. He certainly has the financial capability to help her. You could send a small army into the SOX if you wanted to. So he's definitely got the means, but I can't see how he's got the motive. He'd actively prevented the Firewing's rescue back in 2012 after all. Same thing is true for Nebelhair, so let's scratch them both off the list. We've got Aden, the Great Sarush. He's operating out of Turkey. By all accounts, he's not a fan of Lofweir. They're actively competing for territory in the Middle East. So I suppose that could be considered motive. Reviving the Firewing might cause problems for the Golden Worm. But would he risk a war with Satyr Krupp by straying into Lofweir's territory? I don't think that's likely. Lucilidir out in Wales. He's pretty heavily invested in Transys Neuronet. He's gotten the money. He's too busy dealing with the BTL killer scandal that Transys is going through out in London to get his claws dirty in the SOX. Dunkelzahn is out in the UCAS. No, this is a waste of time. The more I think about it, the more convinced I am. The Firewing is acting alone. Dragons don't cooperate unless they absolutely have to. After all, why bother making nice with your equals when you've got an entire planet full of pawns at your disposal? They don't need to work together. They have us to exploit. Track 3. The screen fills with meaningless stream of text. Yup, that's a meaningless stream of text, alright. Track 4. A few words here and there, but they're interspersed amidst the solid blocks of corrupted text. Vauclair, still my big brother, still searching for Firewings, swear I will find you, it's the last. Swear to new research, turning up, don't know why. Meaningless assortment of ASCII characters. Yep, that's a meaningless assortment of ASCII characters, alright. Crackle of static fills the air, followed by that same, now familiar electronic whine. Hermie, it's me. Can't sleep. Vauclair looks haggard. His eyes are heavily bagged and bloodshot, and his hair is mussed. He holds a cigarette in an unsteady hand. I don't know where you are. Out having fun, no doubt. Maybe flirting with one of those unattainable beauties you're always chasing. He tries to smile, but it quickly disappears. He takes a drag. That's good. I want you to live a pleasant, normal life. After all, one of us should. I can still smell the smoke, Hermie. It's almost a year later, and I can still taste the stench of burning corpses. When I sleep, I can hear the sirens and the screams. There's no sound in this world as horrible as a burn victim's screams. The doctors would call this PTSD, I'm sure. They'd have me in therapy, maybe dose me up on SSRIs, like they do to our veteran soldiers. Quite a story for the tabloids. The great dragon slayer Adrian Vauclair, mentally incapable of wrestling with his own demons. No therapy for me, and certainly no medication. I have a reputation to live up to, however poorly deserved it is, and however little I want it. The dragon is still alive, Hermie. Of that fact, I am certain. One day I will find her, and then perhaps I'll be able to sleep through the night. Huh. Well, that's that. Let's get some work. In light of that enigma, I'd like a simpler problem. Preferably one I can just shoot. Hopefully in the dick. Right in the dick! Mr. Metbach. Herr Metbach, if you will. Got a message about a missing shipment. How can I help? Aye, a gang from a nearby Kiez has been hijacking shipments bound for the cruise bazaar, taking money out of our pockets. I could use your help to stop this from happening. Your dear departed Monica used to provide encryption and information control for the cruise bazaar. Now that she's gone, we merchants have been having no end of trouble. The obvious answer is that a gang has been intercepting our communications. What kind of communications? Shipping manifests, payment orders, that kind of thing. A group with an agenda could use that information to set an ambush, and that's just what this gang has been doing. Several cargo trucks full of goods have already been hijacked en route. I had a tracking device placed on the last shipment that I sent out, containers full of weapons and medical supplies. Sure enough, it got taken, and I've tracked it to Gesundbrunnen. If you've never been there, Talky is built out of an old U-Bahn station and some old bunkers. Rumor has it a new gang called the Rabengeister is holed up there. I suspect the two are related. So I need you to go to Gesendbrunnen, find the Rabengeister, and get our goods back. I can offer you 500 new yen for the task, and if you can recover our missing weapon shipment, I'll be able to sell you some better hardware, too. I'll take care of it. Can you tell me anything about this gang? Not much, I'm afraid. From what I've heard, the Rabengeister are tricky. They have a reputation for stirring up trouble and then disappearing without a trace. I'll take care of it. I'm gonna need you to go in and light on this one. Take a friend along if you like, but no more than one. If you spook them, they could trash the merchandise. Best go quiet. Best go soon, too, before the trail goes cold. Okay. I can take care of most of my other runs anytime. Zach! Anything new? Examine his ears. The scars are subtle, but to your trained eye they stand out as though they were drawn on with red ink. It appears that Zach's ears have been surgically cut, folded, and stitched back together again. The implication is clear. Zach Flash is not an elf, but a human who's had a cheap plastic surgery to try to make himself look like one. You've heard of elf posers before, but you've never seen one in Germany until now. It's time to have those ears touched up. This is the first time for everything. So, Zach, how did your mojo hold up after the operation? All at once, the smile vanishes from Zach's face. A bead of sweat traces its way down his cheek. Look, you can't tell anyone about this, all right? The I'm a magic elf shtick boosts my sales. So, what are you going to give me to keep your secret? Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yeah, I figured. Hang on. He thrusts his hand into the pocket of his filthy jacket and rummages around. Eventually, he fishes out a small vial and a filthy cred stick. Here, some flash and some cash. Enjoy. We done now? Oh, yeah. We're good. I don't... Fucking metahuman posers are the worst. It's okay, I'm transracial. Fuck you. Mr. Xavier. Oh, yes, this thing. Could you pick it? Awesome. As I expected. What's the damage gonna be? Induction data jack. Useful for deckers and riggers who don't want to sacrifice valuable headwear space. Ooh, Kevlar bone lacing. Eye data jack? Vision magnification. That's +2 intelligence. God damn. 5,000 new yen, but it's well worth it. Synthocardium Mark 1. Huh. I'm gonna wait on these. Wired reflexes with reflex trigger. Oh, damn. Capable of temporary blinding an opponent. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I'm gonna save up my cash so that I'm ready to buy whatever cyberware I need when the best stuff is out, because replacing cyberware is a motherfucker. What'd you need? Business. I have a job for you. I'm a little surprised that you want to hire me. We haven't always seen eye to eye. That's true, we haven't, but I'm confident that you're the right man for the job. Why? Your reputation. You get the job done. Okay, but why me? Why are you trying to talk yourself out of a job? I can see that you still don't get it, so I'll be blunt. You're the best in town at what you do. Full stop. And I need the best, even if it means hiring you. I don't like you, and you don't like me, but that doesn't mean I'm unwilling to use you in order to become spectacularly wealthy. Does that answer the question? Yep. That about covers it for me. Good. Let's get down to business. Back before I emigrated here from my native Spain, I worked in partnership with Berlin-based R&D lab. The biotech they were developing was very hush-hush, very cutting-edge. Our arrangement was that I would bankroll their research and that they, in turn, would provide me with unique merchandise to sell in my clinics. You had more than one? Certainly. I must confess that before I moved to Berlin, I was something of a celebrity doctor. I had a chain of triage clinics that stretched from Bilbao to Madrid. I was a very wealthy man. But then my name was slandered, and the fickle mistress that is the public perception turned against me. An ugly business, I assure you. Even talking about my fall from grace makes my stomach turn. The injustice of it all is almost too much to bear. What did they accuse you of? What didn't they? Theft, medical malpractice, the sale of stolen goods, other more colorful accusations that do not bear repeating. But that was then, and this is now. I came to Berlin to escape all that. Of course, I also moved here to be closer to the lab that I'd funded and the merchandise that I was owed. So let me guess. You want me to go get this merchandise? Yes, and to find out what happened to the lab. The facility is locked down, you see, nearly impenetrable, and I have no idea why. As I was packing to move to Berlin, all was well. 16 hours later, I arrived to discover the building locked tight with my merchandise inside. The Turk, Altog, has been running surveillance on the site since I set up shop here. In that time, no one has entered, no one has left. Whatever went wrong in there, I must have killed the research team. It must have killed the research team. I want you to find a way into the building, recover the cyber tech that they were developing, and find out what happened to the researchers in that order. Oh, I see. Your merchandise, why didn't you go to Monica about this? Who says I didn't? I had a, let's say, tumultuous friendship with your dear departed Monica. We had our ups and downs, you see, and on this subject she was most certainly down. That was her choice. I am hoping that you will be savvy enough to make the same mistake. Right. Don't be. Back when I was a wealthy man, before my legal troubles, I paid the lease for a decade in advance, and before you say anything, yes, it was a huge expense, but what's locked away inside of that lab is worth 10 times what I've spent on it. I don't want anyone laying claim to it but me. Alright, what do I get? I can't afford to pay you in new yen, and that's your own fault, by the way. You should have a good chunk of my revenue when you pulled that stunt down in the sewers. But what I can do is give you first crack at any biotech that you recover from the site, and make it available to you at a discount. This is top-of-the-line ware that we're talking about, mind you. Better than anything else that I've got in stock. And because it's biotech, the essence loss from implanting it will be minimal. It's a good deal for you. Win-win, really. So what's it going to be? I'm in. Either way, if you make more money, that's better for the Cruise Bazaar. The facility that you're looking for is the former laboratory of Sutherland Bioscience. Take the U-Bahn to the Adenauerplatz, and you're sure to find it. Best of luck. Alright, that's it for this episode of Let's Play Shadowrun Dragonfall. Next time, we finish up our business around here and go get us some weapons back. I could use some new guns. My guns suck. Later.